Let's let the spinkers go. Okay, they already kicked. Hopefully they have pressure. You good? Good. The engine, oh man, I'm getting all sorts of wet. Good morning, just wanted to introduce the Africa Twin, the Giraffe. So this is my 2021 Africa Twin. I've had it for about almost 2 months now. I've put over 2,000 miles, over 2,100 miles on it. In the last 2 months, I ride it almost every day, most weekends, and for the most part weekdays as well. I run it to doctor's appointments, I run it to the supermarket, I run it up to the forest in Ocala, I run it on trips with friends, I ride with my brothers. It's been a tremendous and enjoyable bike so far. And those are for the most part the reasons for which I picked it. It's something that I can take around, ride around, enjoy, hop on, hop off. Being a larger man, it's a lot easier for me to maneuver a larger bike. I do only have a 29-inch inseam, so it's tough still a little bit. I'm on my toes when I'm riding the bike, especially when I put a foot down. But if you have good, hopefully, training, practice, and always be practicing, you should be able to get on and off the bike if you're only tippy-toeing on your feet when both planted on the floor. I did install some aftermarket modifications to the bike, nothing performance so far, but it's been a wonderful little doozy. The 2021 Africa Twin, I picked it up as a leftover bike out of in Florida. I'm here in Central Florida, and it's been wonderful so far. Now the Africa Twin does have some wonderful things. Traction control, user modes, many other kind of standard modes that you can use. It does take a little bit for the screen to come up, but honestly I just crank the key, connect my Bluetooth, connect the phone and everything, take my time, and I really don't have too much difficulty getting through it. Comes up the user modes. As you can see, you have traction control, wheelie control, your preload, and I set the preload basically for me depending on the settings and if I do have a passenger. So one helmet will be just basically me, one helmet and luggage is if I want a little more stiffer suspension, just to kind of depending on the terrain that I'm riding, and then two in luggage is usually what I put for when I have a person on the back of the bike. Right now it's just a stock bike seat. I have it in the higher position, which sits about 33 point something to 34 inches. I'll have to look it up. It is quite high. It is a little high on the center of gravity just because of this long travel suspension, and that's why I call it the Giraffe. Now that I've had this bike for about 2 months, honestly, one of the best things about it is the 1100 engine. It is quite mellow, it's quite smooth. Intake block runs forward, snorkels through here, and the intakes are here, so which is kind of nice. I mean, you're going to pick up a lot of air in the front, so hopefully you're not trailing somebody who's kicking up a lot of dirt, but it is a nice change of pace to some of the other ADV bikes. Unfortunately, their filters are placed here under the main seat, and because of that, when they do kick up dirt, they have to be cleaned, if not serviced, if not changed fairly frequently. And for me, that's something I wasn't too fond of. Another thing I like about this bike in the maintenance style or in its class or genre is the maintenance itself. Oil changes every 8,000 miles, valve changes every adjustments every, I'm not even too sure right now, I have to check the manual, but it's something with a decent amount of longevity to it. It has a fairly good reputation as a Honda, obviously, as a quality bike. I have been servicing the chain every 600 miles or so, 1,000 miles max, so this is my third change. Slack is between the, I believe, 200 to 300 or 250 to 350 millimeter acceptable tolerances. I did do some modifications such as that Outback Motortech center stand. I have put a cheap Harbor Freight box in the back. I did put a quad lock in the front for my cell phone. I have added also a USB cable, which is currently wet from my sprinklers. And let me see, what else have I done? Ah, yes, one of my favorite modifications which has been done so far, the alt-rider clutch elongation. So it's kind of an elongator or an extender for the clutch arm for the transmission, allowing the throw to be smoother as well as longer, making the friction zone longer. And the nice thing about that is I've really pressed on some of these hydraulic clutches. My brother has a BMW, my brother has another brother has a KTM, wonderful bikes, but man, that clutch is stiff in comparison to mine. Even when it was stock, it was quite stiff comparison, but now that I've put that modification on, it's been a joy. I do have these in the paint shop. My friend Adam, Advanced Cerakotes here in Central Florida, actually in Oviedo, he's doing some custom paint for it because they were silver, and I personally don't love the silver. I do have some other modifications on the way for the motorcycle in order to make it a little more personalized and safe. If there's anything that you recommend for me to take a look at, for me to watch, for me to examine for this motorcycle, Central Florida, or anything around it, is an absolutely gorgeous day today. And I just wanted to say have a great day. Thank you very much. Please let me know if you recommend anything around here to join, to ride, to really experience what Florida and Central Florida has to offer. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much.